Hey guys, welcome back to To Death. It's Ashley.
Hey, it's Kevin. Sorry, I'm just laughing because I was like the most...
Sorry.
Ashley was not even paying attention. I'm clicking I'm
not.
getting... All right, it's fine.
Sorry, you guys.
It was my fault. I didn't really say any words.
You always do a countdown.
I did. I did the finger thing this time.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
It's fine. It's my fault.
I was thinking about Stranger Things. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. We're not going to say how young because it's embarrassing almost, but we're allowing our young daughter to watch Stranger Things. She's fine. She's handling it. She's
Season 1.
She's super mature.
Yeah, and it hasn't been too bad.
It really hasn't been that bad. It's been, if anything, the more problematic stuff has been like the more like adult, like lovey, like the teenagery kind of stuff. I was like, oh man, it's kind of
a lot.
A little bit more than I thought on that end of things. I forgot. I was worried more about like people being disemboweled and stuff, but there really hasn't been much of that.
No, not yet.
Maybe I'm thinking of like later seasons.
You might be.
Yeah.
Some of the later seasons are bad. But yeah.
Anyways.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
So, today, going in the theme, we're having a murder today. Last week was our scam episode.
Oh, yeah,
fraud.
yeah. The balloon boy, right?
Yes. And then,
basically, it was a little boy who they pretended was in this balloon thing, and he wasn't. And so everyone was worried about him, but he wasn't even up there, so it was just whatever.
They just wanted attention, basically, is all it was.
Basically.
They wanted a reality TV show.
We should do that TLDR of our previous episode, like the 1 minute explanation.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
For those in a rush.
Yeah, right. So today we're talking about one that I had never heard of, which is crazy because it is in our direct area.
Oh, that's right. This one happened like right down the street, pretty much, right?
Literally, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like a few miles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Neither of us lived here at that point in our lives, which is probably why we didn't hear about this.
No, I never heard about this.
But they call this the Clear Lake City Massacre.
Yikes.
And so this happened, obviously, in Clear Lake
City. There's no good
massacres. No, there's not.
Yeah.
And so this happened right down the road from us in Clear Lake City, Texas, a suburb of Houston.
Yeehaw.
Yeah. So I got all of my info from The Cron.
Which is a local Houston newspaper for those who do not know.
Yes.
I think it's like mostly online now, right? Or do they still do paper?
They still do paper if you want it, but yeah, it's mostly online. But it's the Houston Chronicle.
Right.
And then I listened to a Morbid episode 59. They did this.
It's a
podcast. Morbid.
Gotcha.
They're pretty popular.
They'll get on our level one day. I'm sorry, I've never even heard.
They're extremely popular.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Murdrpedia. I got the rest of my info from there, and then obviously some from the Wikipedia. Mostly from Wikipedia, I got the pictures.
Where all accurate information comes from.
Right. Yeah. Hey, it's actually not too bad.
It's not that bad.
No.
But people can get on there and like just randomly change stuff. But usually they switch it back.
They can, but they switch it back usually.
But if you hit it at the wrong moment, you'll be like, what happened to what, you know?
Right.
Gandhi said what?
Right.
You know.
That's what they did.
Oh, that's right. I think Gandhi actually did say some questionable things. Anyways, I'm not going to get into Gandhi. I'm sure he was fine.
I was going to use the example of right now, I'm sure if there's any, I don't know, if there's anyone my age, I'm not going to tell you what my age is, but
24.
In their late 20s.
Yeah.
That's reality show driven at all. You've heard about the Scandival and
the what?
The Scandival.
The Scandival.
From Vanderpump Rules.
Okay,
That's all I had to say.
I had to stop you because it sounded like you said scandal, and then there was like sandals and Sandoval, which I think is a last name I've heard of before.
Yeah, Tom Sandoval. That's who it
Sandoval.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've always said Sandoval. I'm pretty sure I'm referencing playing like Madden 95 and somebody having a last name, and I've never heard of the player before, and it was like Sandoval. But Sandoval.
Sandoval.
Okay. And you're saying Scandival because they're involved in a scandal.
Yes.
Not the Madden 95 player, but...
No. Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump Rules.
That's the TV show that you watch.
Yes. And he was having a 7-month
I don't think people want to hear about people's drama.
You would be very surprised.
I'm of course joking. I think interesting. The amount of attention that is paid to these kind of things.
It is. But where I was going with that is
yeah.
they recently, a bunch of fans went and like redid a Wikipedia page for Ariana, which is like the girl who's kind of was the victim in all of that whole like scandal thing.
Was she murdered?
No, she just got cheated on.
Oh, that's
really badly. So they went and like changed her Wikipedia page and.
So I don't know. Granted, take this with a grain of salt because and full disclosure, I know nothing of this. Did she like? I know this is gonna come off wrong. Was she like? You know how sometimes it's kind of a two-sided.
No.
You know, like with the why almost said Jerry Seinfeld or the other guy. He was totally different than Jerry Seinfeld.
George?
No, he wasn't in Seinfeld.
Oh.
He was in the Don't Look Up and Titanic. And
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Thank you, Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah.
No, she didn't do anything.
Okay.
So, she was just literally a good girlfriend, and he was cheating
no,
on her for months.
Not Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm sorry. The girl who pooped in the guy's bed. He's like Edward Scissorhands and God,
Johnny Depp.
Johnny freaking Depp.
Oh no, it's not a Johnny Depp Amber Heard
situation.
situation.
That situation.
No,
it's not that.
No.
No, it really is like she was fine and then she got totally
She
screwed
was
over.
like super sweet, supportive girlfriend. Literally was so cool that people tolerated him, Tom.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, he has to be kind of cool if she'll date him, you know.
All right.
And then.
I mean, all that sounds pretty one-sided. You know what I mean? That sounds like a story that came from one side of the one party. Like, this person was lucky to hang out with me. You know, like that kind of thing. It sounds a little self-glamorizing.
She literally didn't do anything. She just got cheated on
for
7 months with her best friend.
That sucks.
So,
yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about this, but that sucks.
Anyway, they tailored, like they went, the fans went and like redid her Wikipedia page, and it was really funny. I'm sure they changed it.
They did it in a funny
way,
good
like,
way, or like, okay, good.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna explain it. It'd be too long, but yeah.
That's fine. I mean, if we're not going
anywhere. It was
anywhere.
hilarious. No, basically, like on her relationship status.
Yeah.
It said, I can't even remember like the wording exactly, but they said like, was dating a real douche and was cheated on. That he cheated on her with Raquel Leviss, who does not have a Wikipedia page because she does not have main character energy. It was really funny.
I see.
Yes. Yeah, I know way too much about this. That's what I've been doing with my life for the last week and a half.
I've always heard that like main character energy is not a positive necessarily thing. Like that's when you think the world revolves around you, kind of.
They weren't meaning it like that. They just meant like she's not important enough to have a Wikipedia page.
It was a dig. Okay. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Because she's not. She sucks.
I'm a natural underdog, so when I hear people getting attacked, I'm always like, yeah, but what if, you know?
She's not quite an underdog. She was just a hanger-on that's trying to screw her way to the top of getting into a reality show. And it's just not really working for her.
Gotcha.
Allegedly. I don't know. Raquel likes to sue people. Her name's actually Rachel. Anyways.
All right. That's fine.
Back to our murder.
Ashley.
Hey, I didn't go by, like... There's not a Raquel version of Ashley.
I know, I tried to do one.
I know, it doesn't work.
It didn't work very well. I'm sure somebody could think of one. I tried to think of Kevin. Like, what the hell can you do with that? All you can do is like Kevin, which is like the Spanish pronunciation of it by turning the I into an E. I don't know.
All right, let's get back to our story.
Yeah, by the way, you just had a mouth surgery today.
I had mouth surgery today.
So no big deal.
Yeah.
Coming right from a dentist tooth.
It wasn't as bad as it sounds,
Nightmare.
but I had a tooth pulled and a bone graft put in, and my mouth is sore.
Yeah, the option was like to do this complicated reconstruction
of my tooth.
That could fail. That was really expensive. So like one that's like way in the back.
Yeah, it was basically like I had a crown that I got put on when I was like in high school, and it fell out finally because they only last a certain amount of time.
Don't tell me that.
I'm
mine will
old.
last forever.
They don't. I'm going to tell you that right now. and he was like, oh, we can put something back on and rebuild it. It's very back tooth. It didn't bother me. And he was like, yeah, I can do that for like $1,200. I was like, no, pull it.
Yeah.
Just pull it, please.
Yeah.
Like, come on, $1,200? No.
That's kind of a big ask for a tooth that's way back there.
And that doesn't have any filling. It's already had a root canal.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
So yeah, I had that done today, but I'm talking well. I don't think it hinders my speaking.
No, you sound great.
So.
You sound fine.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
On to murder.
Yes.
I wanted to let people know what your struggle.
What's going on? Yeah.
Powering through it.
I'm powering through it. Cause we're supposed to record this like this weekend, and it's
spring break.
It was spring
break.
break,
here
and it was Kevin Overhere's birthday.
Yes.
So we hung out all weekend.
Yeah.
Did lots of food stuff.
Yeah.
I cooked a lot of food.
Thank you.
For him.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, that's all he asked for and wanted, so that's what we did.
Yeah.
So, so we're gonna do the story now.
Cooked a masterful steak.
Yes.
What do you call that?
This is how I pronounce
sous vide?
it. Sous vide is
right?
how I pronounce it. If that is not how you pronounce it, I'm so sorry.
Is it Japanese? Like sous, like TSU?
I think it's supposed to be French.
Sous
vide.
I don't even know. Like I don't know how
it's
they spell.
SOU.
SOU. X, or is that like
VIDE?
Okay, so like I have no idea. Yeah.
I don't know. It's where you put it in a water bath, basically. I put it in like a vacuum sealed bag, and then you water bathe the steaks for like 2 hours, and then they come out perfectly cooked, and you just sear them.
It's incredible. It sounds absurd. Like you put steaks in water. Like what are you even saying to me? I don't want that. Put a steak on a grill where it belongs, or even stovetop, cast iron. It's amazing. It cooks it to perfection. Like it's like melt in your mouth. Like it'll make a regular relatively cheap like Kroger or whatever steak taste like a $100 fancy restaurants. Even better than that. It is amazing. I can't even explain it. You have to try it.
It's really good.
And then you just cook it in that thing. You take it out and then just sear it.
You just sear it so you get that kind of crunch. Like you get a nice
you pan sear, right? With a little salt or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's already seasoned.
You pre-season it.
I pre-season it in the bag. So while it's cooking in the water bath, it's like all the seasoning and I put butter on it.
Okay.
The infusing in it.
Oh, that's awesome. It was so good.
So then you just take it out, put it in your skillet, and then just get it like a nice little crust on it, and it's good. You don't have to. It's already cooked to how it's supposed to be.
I cannot tell you how amazing it was.
It's really good.
You have to try it.
Yeah, that sous vide thing is actually really cheap. You can usually get them at like Kroger, H-E-B, Target, anywhere. They're pretty cheap and they are handy. You can cook any meat in them.
It sounds and looks absurd.
It does. It looks
It'll
like
make
a
you
science
not want
experiment.
to do it. It does. It looks dorky and weird, and it's worth. You have to try it. You've got to.
Yes, it's really yummy.
If you don't like it, you did it wrong.
It's really hard to mess that up. Yeah. The only thing is you have to just watch your times because it takes a long time.
Well, just like any type of cooking.
Mm-hmm. But most of those are like Bluetooth through your phone, so it'll you can set it through your phone and it'll tell you.
They make it hard to mess up, yeah.
Yes, very. Okay.
All right, so after you're done eating your steak, we'll get on to murder.
To murder.
Yes. Pause the episode. Go do the sous vide, get the steak thing.
And then come back and listen and eat your steak. And comment how good it is.
Yes, and thank us.
So, the Clear Lake City Massacre. So, involved in this murder story is two main characters, Christine Palila and Chris Snyder.
So they have main character energy.
They do, for bad reasons.
Right. That's usually the context that I hear that word used.
Yeah, I think I've heard it complimentary a lot.
Well, if you're listening to Housewives stuff, they might think that that's a positive thing.
That is what they
right.
think.
They think that's a good thing, to be the center of attention for no reason whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to deserve all of the entitlement that comes along with that.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a Reddit thing that I believe that's where I've seen it from. It's like, I am the main character, and it's people just acting fools in public, thinking that the world revolves around them, basically.
Yeah, well, I guess with anything, it can go both ways.
Sure.
So, Christine Palila.
Okay.
I've heard it said a couple different ways, but I'm going to say Palila.
Where's that at? Ooh, ouch. I don't know that one.
Palila. I listened to that Morbid episode, and I think
Is there two
they said
L's there?
Lilla.
So it's definitely Palia.
Palila.
Or Palia. Oh, we don't know. But the two L's is usually the Y sound, right?
Palia?
Somebody in the comments section, let us know how terrible we are with Spanish.
Christine Palila. She was
I think that's right. Palia.
Palia?
Paulia. Right? Paulia.
I don't know.
It has to be that.
Okay. I'm going to say it how Morbid said it.
Oh, then, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Do that. Well, how did they say it?
Palila.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'm going to say how they said it.
Maybe it's right. I don't know.
So she was born in...
They probably check first. They know.
I'm sure they
We don't check things.
Actually, main reason I went to listen to their episode was I could hear how they were pronouncing her name.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just to check it?
Mm-hmm.
But you have no idea how many people I've heard say gyro.
Oh, no, it's gyro.
It's gyro.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
So she was born in Long Island, New York.
Okay, Long Island.
Her parents, her mom was a stay-at-home mom, and her dad was a construction worker.
Okay.
And she had an older brother. So when she was
this 2 years... Christine.
The girl. Okay. The main girl. So there's a girl and a guy.
Okay.
So when she was 2 years old, her dad was killed in a construction accident, which is super sad.
How old was she? 2?
She was 2.
Oh, so she doesn't even... No.
Doesn't even remember. The reason this plays a role in it is because following her dad's death, her mom began abusing drugs really bad.
Sure.
Because she got very depressed. And she lost custody of both of her kids.
That does not help.
No. So poor Christine, she was whisked away to foster care, and then at about kindergarten, so a few years after her dad died, she was diagnosed with alopecia.
That's where your hair falls out, right?
Yes. So she lost all her hair and her eyebrows, eyelashes.
There was a show where alopecia was confused with being an alpaca. I forget. I think it was Arrested Development or Curb Your Enthusiasm, one of the two. I think Arrested Development.
I think so, because I've seen all the Curb, and that doesn't sound familiar. I haven't seen all of Arrested Development.
I'm pretty sure it's Arrested Development. He's an alpaca. He's not an alpaca. He has alopecia.
I've known a few people that had alopecia growing up, and one of my friend's sisters had it.
It was Jessica Walters saying that. Sorry. Jessica Walter.
The mom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I couldn't remember her real name.
I am just proud of myself for remembering it. She also plays the mom in Archer.
Mm-hmm. She's a good actress.
Yeah, she's great.
So, she's diagnosed with this. Around that time, she was forced to start wearing wigs. She also had really poor vision and wore really thick glasses. So she was frequently ridiculed and bullied because of her appearance. And it really affected her self-confidence.
She could have just did the bowl cut wig and thick glasses, round glasses, and looked like the girl from Scooby-Doo.
Thelma? Yeah, she could have. She did not, though.
Okay. She should have watched Scooby-Doo first.
So eventually, her mom got her brother and her back. Like, she was able to clean it up and get her back. So it was like a really happy story.
Nice.
So she overcame her drug addiction and she remarried. And they moved, her mom moved the whole family to Clear Lake City, Texas.
Yeah.
So around where we live.
Sounds like a good choice.
Yeah. So we're skipping ahead to when she's in high school.
Okay.
Not a lot happens till then.
Okay.
So Palila...
That's actually good in a story like this.
Yeah. It is. So she enrolled at Clear Lake High School, which is in our school district.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so literally just down the street from us. So she really was trying to fit into her new school after moving here. So she was trying to wear wigs, but they ended up being bulky and kind of Halloween looking. And she began drawing her eyebrows on.
Like, proper wigs are expensive, aren't they?
They are like very expensive.
Movie-style ones?
Yeah. She was only getting, like, the cheap ones. Yeah. She was drawing her eyebrows on, and
People
they would, like, smudge, and she would sweat. And I have a picture of her without any of her makeup on.
Sure. I thought, isn't, like, drawing your eyebrows on in, like, a particular, like, fashion?
It is, but you have to know how to do it also.
I guess that applies with anything, right? Alright, so we're going to try and...
So that's her in her yearbook picture. She's really pretty, but that's when she kind of had everything figured out. Her hair, her eyebrows. There's a picture, I believe it's the next one, where she doesn't have anything on.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see she doesn't have eyebrows.
Is that her actual hair, though?
It
can't be, though, because if you have alopecia, you wouldn't have...
I don't know. I actually
I'm just saying that's an odd choice for wig.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
But anyways, okay.
Exactly.
All right, so while we're here in the pictures, should we go on, or are they not contextual yet?
You can show the next one.
All right.
That was her in court.
That's her?
Yeah, so that was a wig, and that's her, like, eyebrows kind of
okay. That's funny. I didn't actually, I did not think these were the same people.
Yeah, I think she's just much older in that one and had been in prison for a while.
Gotcha. Spoilers.
Oh yeah, sorry. She'd been in custody. You don't have to show the last one yet.
Not yet?
It's not going to make sense.
Okay, so I was wondering.
Yeah, just the first ones.
Okay, and back to full screen.
So she was teased pretty relentlessly at school.
That sucks.
Sucks, but kids are kids, you know, which is terrible.
I mean,
jerks
are jerks, assholes are assholes,
So they would like try to rip off her wigs.
Oh yeah.
She was going to class. So she met this girl named Rachel. So all these names in this
Rochelle?
are just so not Raquel.
Oh, Raquel. That's
she is actually a real one and goes by her real name, Rachel.
Almost had a perfect joke. I said the wrong fake name. Oh God. Colorudus?
Colorudus?
I don't know.
I hope we're saying that right. Colorudus. So she met this
fun
girl.
Trying to pronounce names that you have no idea how to pronounce.
Exactly.
People make that sound like they're struggling when I listen to podcasts when they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's fun destroying people's names. I enjoy that. What does it say about me? Sorry, continue.
Rachel Coloroidus.
That sounds like a colon disease.
I know.
The way you said it.
I know. So this girl, she was pretty popular, right?
Okay.
At Clear Lake High School.
This is like the wig puller?
No.
She's not a bully.
She was not.
Oh, okay.
No. This is different. I was talking about just other kids were trying to pull off her wigs and stuff and making her life miserable.
This is not one of them?
No, not at all. So this girl was pretty popular.
All right.
Rachel, she and her best friend, Tiffany Rawell, they were among the most popular and pretty girls at Clear Lake High School.
Sounded like you said that with a lisp. Rawell?
Rowell?
Oh, yeah, interesting. Rowell? Yeah.
We're just going to say Rachel and Tiffany.
If that was a P, I would have definitely said Powell.
Oh, yeah.
So with the R there, I'm going to go with Rowell. I don't know.
Rowell. Well, Rachel and Tiffany, they were like really popular girls.
All right.
And they decided to befriend her.
Okay.
Instead of bullying her.
Like for real, though? Like they
but
didn't...
for real.
Okay.
Not like...
They weren't trying to get something out of her?
Nothing.
She wasn't rich or nothing?
Nope. They just felt really bad for her.
So like two like popular girls were just like, all right, we're gonna just be friends with this person.
They felt really bad for her, and they said, we're gonna take her under our wing. We're gonna like help her get her fashion game together, help her figure stuff out.
Okay, I've seen this movie. Are you sure it wasn't a bet?
No, I know it is not. She's All That. That is not that movie.
Way before that. 16 Candles, I think, was the same thing. Wasn't that the same thing? When they had to. I think that was the exact same thing. Or a Pretty in Pink. It was one of those 80s movies. I'm pretty sure with the same
with
Molly Ringwald.
It wasn't 16 Candles. Maybe Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, it was one of those where they bet if they could get this nerdy girl to pretty up or whatever they called it, and they go out with like the jock guy.
See, all I think is She's All That.
Okay, all right. Well, let us know in comments. Am I just confusing these movies? I swear I've seen an actual like 80s movies, like grainy 80s movie doing exactly this.
Oh, I'm sure there is one.
And there was a guy in it named like Duck Feet.
Ducky? Yeah, Ducky.
Okay.
But I thought he was in 16 Candles, and he was like the nerdy best
16
friend.
Candles. Is that...
But that's not the storyline for that, no.
Okay, see, it's one of those.
In 16 Candles, she makes a wish on the candles, and she turns into like a really popular girl, and everyone's like really into her.
Oh, that sounds right. Okay. So it wasn't that one.
No. Like all of her wishes come true on her birthday. That one.
Maybe I'm thinking of Not Another Teen Movie.
They make fun of those movies in that movie, yeah.
That may have been the plot of that movie, and that's why I'm confusing them all, is because they mashed all those movies into one.
They did, and they were making fun of She's All That.
So maybe that's what I'm thinking of. It's Not Another Teen Movie.
Okay, yeah. So But they befriend her for real. No bet, no nothing. There was no ulterior motive. They just were being nice.
Gotcha.
So Rachel and Tiffany, they were 1 year ahead of Palila. I'm just call her Christine. I hate all these last names. So
rude.
I know, I'm sorry.
I'm sure a lot of other people have those last names.
I know they do. I don't want to like mispronounce them.
I know, I'm just joking.
So they taught her how to dress and buy wigs. It was just funny the way you said that. I know. I'm just like, I know I'm ruining these names.
I hate these last names. These are the worst last names.
Can't we get to Smiths or something? Or something very, very easy.
That's boring. That's too easy.
I know. Anyway, they taught her how to dress. They bought her wigs. They taught her how to wear her makeup so that she didn't look like Tammy Faye Baker, is the quote.
Tammy Faye Baker.
Do you remember Tammy Faye Baker?
Oh,
she was like that, like TV, like, she did like religious TV. Huh. And she always kind of looked like she had her eyebrows. Type person?
Like a televangelist lady?
Yeah, her and her husband were. And she used to draw her eyebrows on, have these big, elaborate wigs.
That sounds familiar. I've seen some like televangelist ladies with like big hair and crazy like makeup.
It was Tammy Faye Baker.
Okay.
If that's who you're thinking of, yeah. But she looked like her eyebrows were always messed up. Mm-hmm. So they were like, let's help you not do that anymore.
Okay.
So they helped her reverse like how she was treated in that high school. She was no longer this like really bullied, mistreated kid. She was actually voted Miss Irresistible.
Really?
Yes. Because of, them taking her under their wing and kind of like just teaching her. And that first picture we saw with her makeup all done, that's kind of their work.
That was
like,
what they
taught her how to do all that.
They taught her how to do it, yeah.
So they were like super good friends.
That's
like,
cool.
That's what you always hope for.
See?
So the three were
Sometimes you just need some friends.
Exactly. I think everyone just needs some friends.
Yeah.
Just help from your friends. They taught her, the three were really close, and Tiffany and Rachel were the only friends Christine would let see her without a wig on. So she trusted them.
Right.
Well, then Christine got a new boyfriend. His name was Chris Snyder. People...
I don't like him.
Yeah, people call him pushy and aggressive.
I don't like the Snyder kid.
Yeah, he had a criminal record.
Oh, hell no.
And a hard drug habit.
Get away from my daughter.
Mm-hmm. Snyder, Chris scared Christine's mom, who later told a news station that there was just something in his eyes that she didn't trust.
So did the mom remarry? Was there like a father type figure?
A stepfather, yeah. I haven't really read much about him, so I don't know if they were close.
He wasn't going to check this guy?
I think that both of her parents really didn't like him and were trying to dissuade her from being around him. They were both like
scared of him or something? I'd be like, bro, I'm going to smack you down.
I don't know if they were scared of him or they just kind of felt uneasy around him.
Yeah, but they should have smacked him down.
They should have. I don't know.
So I'm being very judgy of these parents.
Yeah, it's easy to say when you're not the one in the situation.
Whatever, I'll smack them down.
So Rachel and Tiffany told Christine that she could do better and that there was another guy out there for her who would treat her with dignity, respect, and kindness. They were basically like trying to get her to get away from him. He was just really abusive, really controlling. They didn't like it. So sources say that Christine and Chris were fighting because of crushing jealousy on her part that resulted in a crazy rage. So it sounds like they were both kind of toxic for each other. It wasn't just one or the other. So if Chris even looked at another girl, Christine would hit him. And then a part of her also enjoyed feeling humiliated and degraded by him. And she demanded rough sex as that's what she wanted.
Interesting.
She wanted him to punish her.
Okay.
So they had a very sadistic, like weird relationship.
Yeah, that's all strange.
It sounds like it stems a lot from her self-esteem issues.
I mean, not strange. Hey, not if you're not into that. That's fine, whatever. But I don't know. I mean, as long as you're consenting adults and it's a healthy relationship, it doesn't sound like this is super healthy. I don't know.
So
I don't know what to say about all that.
Yeah, around Chris's house, Christine, who also had the police called on her several times by her own parents, was known as the Psycho. That's what the police called her, because they were called so many times about her.
Right.
So, I don't know. It sounds like she had her own issues. It wasn't just him.
Sure.
So, after a particularly nasty fight they had, she'd spend the night on the front lawn sleeping, trying to get into the house, yelling, going nuts, and rattling the screen doors at her house. Yeah.
So it sounds like that happened on several occasions. Yeah.
Christine's sister, Brandy, is quoted as saying that Christine threatened to kill my mom and dad and even me.
Jesus.
She was an absolute cancer to us. Yeah. That's what her sister said. Yikes.
Her own sister.
Her own sister.
That's... Yeah, it's hard not to take that seriously.
So the abusive nature of Chris and Christine's relationship reached an apex one night when a very angry Christine, without warning, stopped yelling at Snyder, stared him down, and licked his face from chin up, then spat on the ground before walking away.
All right.
Because it just was like a super intense fight. Chris told his family more than once that the only two things that frightened him were the cops and Christine.
Yikes.
Yeah, so it's one of those relationships where both of them are terrible.
Okay.
There's not one that's like more terrible than the other.
Well, I mean, the whole licking in the face and spitting in the ground. There's worse things you can do to people.
That
is extremely weird.
It is very weird.
Especially in the heat of like an intense argument, just stopping and then to lick their face and spit on the ground and walk away. That's a very odd thing to do.
It's very theatrical.
It is.
Like, what movies have you been watching?
Right. Do you think you're on camera?
So Lori Palila, which is Christine's mom, later recalled that Chris isolated her daughter from her friends and family and indicated that she had been raped and that the relationship was both abusive and dysfunctional. Chris's family also said the relationship was tumultuous and that Christine was prone to jealousy. So, just not good all the way around. So, I guess you're wondering where we go from here, right?
Yeah.
Now we have this explanation of these two people. They have this crazy tumultuous relationship.
Yep.
She is now a very popular girl in high school. So on July 18th, 2003, so not too terribly long ago, about 20 years.
Right.
I guess a little bit long ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem that long ago.
It kind of does.
It kind of does, I know. So on July 18th, 2003, Christine and Chris went to her friend Tiffany's house.
All right.
Tiffany's 18-year. I just wanted to tell you their ages so you can get a range of how old these people were.
Yeah, it's good to be able to picture these people.
So Tiffany was 18. That was one of Christine's friends, the one that took her under her wing. Right. So Tiffany, 18. They were at Tiffany's house in Clear Lake City. So also at home with Tiffany were Rachel, who was also 18.
That was her other friend, right?
Those two friends are the ones that were very popular and, were Christine's best friends.
Right. They did the whole makeover thing. Yeah.
So Tiffany's boyfriend was there, Marcus Priscilla.
Okay.
He was 19. And his cousin, Adalbert Sanchez, and he was 21. So he was a little bit older than all of them. So according to Christine, her and Chris planned to steal drugs that were kept at the house, but Chris reportedly got into an argument with Priscilla, which led to the shooting of all 4 of them.
Okay.
All 4 victims were shot multiple times. Rachel attempted to crawl to a phone and call 911 after she was shot, but Christine struck her in the head multiple times with the butt of a .38 caliber revolver, bashing her skull in.
Wow.
Yeah. So Rachel and Tiffany were both shot in the crotch, a sign of sexual jealousy.
Okay.
So Snyder, Chris and Christine, they left really little evidence at the crime scene, leading police to suspect that the killings were drug-related, as Priscilla was said to have sold drugs from the home.
Okay.
So that's immediately what the cops began to think. Sanchez, the cousin of Priscilla, had moved to Clear Lake to get away from violence on the north side of Houston. Good luck. I mean, that sucks for him. He wanted to change his life around and had only been in Clear Lake for about 1 or 2 weeks before losing his life.
Jesus.
The only evidence that the police were able to, the only evidence police had were descriptions of the suspects who were seen walking to and from the home by neighbors. An hour after the murders, Chris and Christine drove to Walgreens, where she was scheduled to work at the makeup counter. So that is from what Christine had said, that right after the killings, she just went and did her shift at Walgreens.
Okay.
So this case went cold. No one knew what happened in this case for a very long time.
I'm just trying. I mean, I feel like a lot just really happened really quick there. All right, so they were just. Whose house were they at?
They were at Tiffany's.
They were at Tiffany's house. All right. And she was a popular girl or whatever. Probably a nice place, right?
Yeah, it doesn't say if she was rich or anything.
I'm just picturing it in a nice kitchen.
Yeah, probably just a nice, middle class home.
Okay, fair enough. And then Christine and her boyfriend Chris, right? Chris Snyder. They're there.
They roll up there.
They were invited, I'm sure. Right?
I'm sure they were invited.
But and her friends, 2 friends are there, and like one of their boyfriends,
and
then,
the boyfriend's cousin.
Okay, and then they all get murdered.
They said, Christine said that they had gone there to rob them and get the drugs. They said they had drugs at the house.
So they were just gonna go and hang out, or that was, I guess, what they thought, and then these people are just gonna go rob these girls. Their friend, this girl's friend, and they're just to rob them for just a small amount of drug. I'm assuming.
Sure, small.
That makes no sense at all.
It makes no sense, and they end up murdering all of them, and in brutal ways.
Okay.
And once the cops get there, there's like hardly any evidence there. They don't know what happened. There's only wild speculation happening. And they get away with it. Christine and Chris.
For a while.
For a while. Obviously, not forever. So the two stayed together for a long time after this murder. They eventually broke up, though, and Chris moved back to Kentucky, where he was from. So more than 3 years passed, and the case was unsolved. So 3 years that they're just like, we have no idea what's happening. So 2006, were you here in 2006? Not yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So in July 2006, after receiving an anonymous tip, police arrested Christine inside a San Antonio, Texas hotel room. She was living with her then husband, Justin Rott, and the two were heroin addicts who had not left the hotel room in 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yes. So they were deep into a heroin addiction. So initially, Christine denied killing her friends.
This is before DoorDash. How are you getting your food? How do you not leave at all?
I mean, they had to have been leaving to get like drugs and food and stuff.
But they had to leave.
I guess meaning maybe like they didn't like stop
Go on a
living.
vacation?
They were living in a hotel room, basically, I think is what it means.
Okay,
They were living in that hotel room for 8 months.
I see, okay.
So in the interrogation...
Cheaper just to rent a house.
You think so.
Or rent an apartment, I mean.
It's probably one of those really super cheap hotels, though.
Maybe.
So I don't think they were staying at the Four Seasons or anything.
Yeah.
So in his interrogation... they interrogated Justin Rott, who was her then husband. Rott told police that Christine had confessed to him and that she had been an active participant in the murders. He stated that Christine had gone back into the house and beat Rachel to death with a gun. So saying that she had left and then came back and beat her. So this was not, she couldn't claim this was like heat of the moment thing. This was obviously premeditated. So before they could apprehend Chris Snyder, he actually committed suicide in Greenville, South Carolina. So the body of 21-year-old Chris Snyder was found in a open field in Greenville, South Carolina. The dogs, some police dogs located him, and he was near a wooded area, last seen on July 20th. This was 2006. So he didn't get to be held accountable for this. He kind of got wind that the police were onto them, and he just was like, no. So, yeah. About that. So, Snyder at the time, when he committed suicide, was on parole for robbery conviction in Kentucky. So he had not led the best life either after this murders. So on October 13th, 2008, Christine was convicted of 4 counts of capital murder. As she had been a juvenile offender at the time of the killings, she was spared the death penalty.
She was like still a minor?
When she committed the killings, she was. Damn. I think she was like 17.
Okay.
Because Rachel and Tiffany were a year older than her, and they were 18. So she was probably 16, 17.
Good God.
Yeah. So she was lucky that she was a juvenile, or she would have got the death penalty probably here in Texas. The following day, she was sentenced to life in prison. Christine filed an appeal on November 29th, 2008, on the grounds that the trial court abused its discretion in setting Christine's amount of bail at $500,000. So she thought her bail was too high. An appeal panel decided that the court did not abuse its discretion and affirmed Christine's original sentence. So since then, she's filed multiple appeals, but they've all been denied. Mm-hmm. So you're in Texas, honey. You ain't getting out. I'm sorry. You're not in a state where they let people out very easily. So as of 2022, Christine is incarcerated at the Crane Unit in Gatesville, Texas. She'll be eligible for parole in 2046. She'll be 60 years old. So I think it's just crazy. Like, there's just like no purpose for her killing all those kids.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell?
They had to have been like, they had to have been like
on something. I mean, you're trying to find reason in madness, and I mean, maybe, but jeez Louise.
It's just really sad.
We're talking about the girl who licks people's faces in the heat of an argument.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows?
There's obviously some stuff not right with them.
Yeah.
It's just really sad, and I can't believe that they were like such young people that did this murder, right? And they couldn't have been like pristine about the scene. How did they leave like no evidence behind to where it took the cops over 3 years, and the only reason they solved it was because of a tip? Like, there was nothing. Like, that's just crazy to me.
I mean, they're all like high school kids, though. It's not like they're like have a whole lot of paperwork.
I mean, I know. It's like, couldn't they have gotten DNA? There was like no DNA. Like, there was no one that saw anything. I mean, some people saw a description, but like, I don't know. I just feel like it sucks because it was kind of around that time not a lot of people had cell phones.
Right.
Like, if something like this would have happened nowadays, their cell phones would have caught them.
Well, nowadays, especially so she went back into the house. I mean, nowadays, everybody's got like some kind of camera on their house.
Yeah. Oh, it makes me feel a lot better, though, about living in today's times. It's like there's cameras everywhere.
Oh, yeah, cool. So after you're murdered, people can find out about it. Great.
I mean, at least people are getting caught.
Yeah. It's better. It's better than not getting caught, I guess.
Like all the genealogical DNA stuff they're doing, where they're like catching people that have gotten away with murder for like ever. They're now like solving these crimes because they can do those like family tree things.
Yeah, like the Golden State Killer. And
that's awesome.
That is cool.
Like, it's so amazing. They're just like cracking all these cases. They're like giving names back to all these like Jane Does and John Smiths, like people like who don't know who they are.
Right.
Who there's like whole families who didn't know where their loved ones are. They're now like finding out, oh, they were Jane Doe over here,
Yes.
So, sorry. Yeah, so that's the story of the Clear Lake City Massacre. I had never heard about it before.
I haven't either, and that's terrifying. Right around the corner.
I know. Oh, and I had a picture of the victims.
Oh, okay.
That was the last picture I was telling you earlier. I was like, oh,
yeah.
It's
tiny.
It's really tiny. I know.
All right.
I hate that it. Okay. Enlarge is
so,
pretty good.
All right.
So.
Enlarge. Enhance. Why isn't it enhancing? I don't have the enhance button. Damn it. All right. So that was Tiffany. Mm-hmm. And this is Rachel. And Marcus.
Uh-huh.
And
Albert.
Adalbert.
Adalbert.
Right.
Sanchez. So those were all the people that were murdered.
That sucks.
That day. It's terrible.
Yeah.
They were so young.
Yeah.
And that one guy had just moved from like the north to kind of like
get his life together.
And no. This wasn't happening. Ugh.
Damn, that sucks.
I know.
Because of
her.
This crazy person, and they don't have a picture of the guy.
I couldn't really find a good picture of him, honestly.
That's fine.
Well,
yeah. Well, that's what happens when you stare into the face of murder. Wait,
and she was...
Go over here. Murder.
Oh my God. That's scary.
As far as it goes.
Yeah.
Murder. Bye. Bye, murder. Lady.
You're going to prison forever, basically. But at least she finally got caught. It sucks that Chris guy killed himself, and so now he doesn't have to face anything.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Except death.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to face that in a way.
Yeah, but he didn't get, like... I don't know. He didn't have to pay the price.
He pays the price of not being able to experience new things.
That's true. That's true. I just like,
yeah.
I wish people, I don't know.
I guess those new things in his case would have been prison things.
Mm-hmm. I just wish that he had to like suffer in prison,
Yeah, retribution and such.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
it's what it is.
It is what it is. Nothing's really gained from that.
No, it's not.
You don't get the people back.
You don't.
I don't know.
But, there we go.
Yeah.
Clear Lake City Massacre. Sorry,
Damn.
it's kind of a bummer.
It's a bummer.
It is. I just found it
pretty
fascinating.
It was just also, I guess I found a little unsatisfying that there just really was no explanation.
Mm-mm. And you're never probably really going to get a good one,
They're just, all right. And it sucks. It was the girl's friends. They helped this girl out in high school
That's how you get repaid with kind,
Yeah. Yeah.
They should have just left her alone, apparently.
They would be alive.
Mm-hmm. They definitely would. So, this is why I'm
Don't
scared.
help people.
Stop. Don't do that. Just mind your own business. Keep going.
I guess also just if you see flags and warning signs, don't ignore them.
Right. Yeah. Because there were definitely some red flags.
There has to be. There's got to be.
I don't know.
I mean, at a certain point, I don't know. I hate to put any amount of blame on them. You know what I mean?
No.
It sucks. They just tried to be nice people and help this girl out, and
there was nothing they could have done.
There's nothing they could have done.
Those people were just crazy.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to learn from something, but I don't know if
unfortunately, you can't really
I don't know if there's anything
from
really to learn there. Yeah.
No, there's not.
It's a bummer. Other than people suck, which is we already know that.
We already know.
But it's good to keep that in mind.
Yeah, people suck sometimes, so just have your guard up. Which sucks that you have to live that way, but you do.
Yeah.
Eh.
I guess you don't have to, but then you risk being taken advantage of.
Right.
Or murdered.
Yes, you do not want to get murdered.
Right.
Well, all right.
Most people don't.
I don't think anyone wants to get murdered.
I heard this crazy story. I'm not even going to get into it. It's actually kind of gross. I was actually just looking up to the meaning of this one Rammstein song, and why did I go down the rabbit hole? Not going to go into it.
Okay.
But if you want to look it up, the song is called Meinteil or something. It's like Meinteil. The story is absurd and apparently true, and has so many twists and turns. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just really gross too.
Yikes.
Do you want me to tell it? It's kind of gross. And it's not like we could almost do a whole episode on it. It does involve two people. Well, I'll tell you about it off air.
And then we'll maybe talk about it next time.
Yeah, because there is a murder. There are two people.
Okay.
And it was in some sort of relationship of a kind. So it's crazy.
Till next time.
Yeah, I already said the name of the song, and if people go and look it up, they can figure it out.
Then you'll figure it out.
It is gruesome and bizarre, and it'll be one of our, don't have your mom listen to this one episode.
She's She's listened to all of them so far.
This one's gonna be a little messed up if we do it.
Yeah. Ugh.
I learned about it from a Rammstein song.
Well.
Rammstein. Sorry, I don't know. Is it Rammstein or Stein?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Do we pronounce the words American-y or how they do it?
Probably how they do it.
And Rammstein.
There you go.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I liked them back in the day, and now I just work out to them. They're like a 90s, like, you know who Rammstein is.
Yeah, I know who
Du
they
Hast, etc. Yeah, industrial metal.
Right.
German band. It's fun. They're fun. Things are fun as long as you're not getting murdered. All right, so thank you for joining people and listening and have fun out there not getting murdered.
Yes, we'll be back next week for a good old-fashioned fraud scam.
Yes.
So that'll be lighthearted. So till next time, thanks guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.